attacks FG on insecurity orders. Australians, Chinese, Koreans open New Year celebrations. NEC orders discos to buy 95% per generation. Two arrested for defrauding Canada-based Nigeria for 110 million. Lassa fever, cholera, others killed 952 in 2024. And CDC. Top stories on the Punch. Now I move to Daily Independent. Nigeria stock market outpaces inflation, gains 37.65% in 2024. Market cap rises to 62.76 trillion naira. 2025 PDP charges Tinubu to address insecurity, fuel, and food crisis. Tinubu assures of reducing cost of food, essential drugs in 2025. On the riser, says indicators point to positive, encouraging outlook for country. Declares youth confab to begin in the first quarter of the year. More access to credit for individuals, critical sectors of economy. FG to establish national credit score for financial institutions and enterprises. Atiku asks Nigerians to participate in safeguarding democratic principles. Presidency says Tinubu government concluded 2024 stronger than 2025. FG issues travel advisory for Nigerians planning to visit Australia. Professor Aisha Maikudi emerges. Uni Abuja VC. Bello Turji, terrorist leader, dead man working, says military. Tax reforms may boost Nigeria's economy by $7.5 billion annually, experts. Says country's economy prospects will hinge on their execution. I didn't threaten Tinubu, says Bauchi governor. These are the top stories on the Daily Independent. Now I move to the Guardian newspaper. Eyes on key economic indices as Tinubu promises new dawn. Ondo resident doctors begin indefinite strike over welfare. FG retaliates, warns Nigerians against trips to Australia. Adelabu blames vandalism for failure to increase power generation to 6,000 megawatts. Nigeria on life support before Tinubu's election, says Akpabio. Investors made 22 trillion naira from Nigeria's stock markets in 2024, despite firms' exits. Troops killed 10,937 terrorist arrests, 12,538 in a year. Girl of defection to ruling party will halt democracy. Cheer said once. Discuss to offtake 95% of allocated energy or face next sanctions. Now I move to daily. We have Daily Trust already. And these are the top stories on Daily Trust, The Guardian, Daily Independent, The Punch newspaper, and The Nigerian Tribune. Now you can join us on Facebook at Vicinity 95.3 FM on newspaper review this morning. Welcome back to Student Newspaper Review. Now I take the details of the headlines. Beginning from Daily Trust. Military says we killed 10,937 terrorists in 2024. The military high command says the troops deployed to various operations across the country have in the last 12 months eliminated 10,937 terrorists, apprehended 12,538 and rescued 7,063 hostages. The Director of Defense Major Operations, Major General Edward Buba made this known while briefing his men on the operations of the military in the year 2024 in Abuja. Buba said that troops significantly degraded the fighting capabilities of terrorists, recording 16,171 surrendered terrorist combatants and their families during the course of the year. Still on Daily Trust. New Year. President Tinubu, Speaker Abbas, and former Vice President Atiku. Others deliver messages of hope. President Bola Tinubu, in his New Year's message to Nigerians this morning, said 2025 brings many hopes, aspirations, and prospects for better days. By the grace of God, 2025 will be a year of great promise in which we will fulfill our collective desires. He said, the president assured to all citizens that their sacrifices have not been in vain over the past 19 months, and he assures that they will not be in vain even in the months ahead. Together, he said, let us stay the course of the nation together. He said the new year will bring us closer to the bright future we all desire and the Nigeria of our dreams. Acknowledging that 2024 posed numerous challenges to citizens and households, the president said he was confident that the new year would bring brighter days. According to him, economic indicators point to a positive and encouraging outlook for the nation. That's the President Bola Tinubu message of hope for the new year. Well, we know the works is in the doing, not the words. But we hope that this year be brighter for our country, Nigeria. Now I take this story on Daily Trust. And FG retaliates, cautions Nigerians against trips to Australia. On that story, the federal government of Nigeria has warned its citizens to consider the security threats in Australia before traveling to the country. The Nigerian government gave the advisory in a statement by the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and signed by its acting spokesman, Kimiebi Imomotsimi Ibionfa, on Tuesday. A statement advised citizens of the country planning to travel to Australia to take into cognizance the prevailing security situation in some cities. This is imperative for Nigerian travelers and residents in Australia due to reported cases of discrimination, harassment, verbal abuse targeted at foreigners. The unfortunate recent surge in anti-Semitic and Islamophobic hate crimes in Australia has increased the risk of violence, hence the need for caution. This story is on the Daily Trust, so take caution. Now I move to the story on the Daily Trust. Says, rejects corruption this year. EFCC tells Nigerians. The Economic and Financial Crimes Commission on Tuesday cautioned Nigerians to shun corrupt practices this year 2025. And this is not just from EFCC. Honestly, we should shun corrupt practices. From our leaders to, the followers, to any level at all, from federal level, states, local, LCDAs, we should, shun corruption and see how far we'll go this year. No siphoning of public funds, no, misappropriation of public funds. That's why it's public funds. It's meant for the public. It's meant for infrastructure. It's meant, to put our country in a better place. And one person should not just sit on something that will benefit millions of people. So apart from EFCC, saying we should shun corruption in all its forms. I want to add this, in all its forms. The little things we do, the bigger ones we do, to put this country at disadvantage. We should shun it this year and remain resolute in the fight against corruption. According to the chairman of the commission, Ola Olukoyede, the nation's progress and development depend on collective effort to combat economic and financial crimes. In its New Year message to the citizens delivered in Abuja on Tuesday, the EFCC boss emphasized that rejecting corruption was key to improving the quality of life for all Nigerians and advancing the economy. So one word for EFCC. Two, while you're all out there, seeing that you want to level and fish out these people who are diverting public funds, please do it gallantly. Do it with your chest. It's been a lot in the year 2024 where we see public servants leaving office, and it's I don't know, maybe FCC, they find it so challenging to try these people. There's this back and forth, and people will say you're trying. I don't think I'm not sure if I can say there are small criminals and big criminals, but let's even put it that way. Anyone who diverts money that's not theirs, of course, that's a crime. So when people commit such crimes, that's this kind of this back and forth where they're dragging the issue. You say, okay, we want to make an arrest, but it's impossible. I just call on EFCC, as you have said that we should all shun corruption in all its forms. I'm saying we should also, EFCC, you should also stand gallantly in discharging that duty to see that anyone who go against the law, who commits financial crimes, should be held accountable and seriously, and should be punished as the law permits. Moving on from that story, on Bayelsa wage bill hits 12 billion naira. On the Daily Trust, Bayelsa wage bill, Bayelsa State Governor Senator Joye Diri has lamented that his administration's appointment of over 5,000 political appointees and the implementation of the 80,000 naira minimum wage has shot the state's wage bill to almost 12 billion naira from about 6 billion he inherited in 2020. Speaking on Tuesday when he led the government delegation, including the Deputy Governor, Senate Lawrence, on a U-type visit to his predecessor and senator representing Bayelsa West Senatorial District in the National Assembly, Senator Henry Sereke Dixon, in Sagbama local government area, he urged politicians clamoring for appointments in his government to be patient. Message well delivered. It's still newspaper review on Vicinity 95.3 FM. This new year, I hope you have started on a clean slate. Yes, clean slate. Let's erase all the past and start on a clean slate. It's important. You can join the conversation this morning on our Facebook Live. Leave a comment, share, and like. Join our community. And do well to know that you can also catch us on YouTube. It's still Vicinity 95.3 FM. We'll be right back.
Fẹ́dà kó má máa kọjá àárín ara fẹ́dà kọ kó má máa kọjá àárín ẹ̀.
Welcome back. Still 95.3 FM, Vicinity, on newspaper review this morning. Now move to The Guardian. On The Guardian, eyes on key economic indices as Tinubu promises new dawn. As the economy rises from the ashes of 2024, President Bola Tinubu said the year would usher Nigeria into a new era of prosperity and brighter days. The president, in his New Year speech, admitted that the economy crisis posed a significant concern for many Nigerian households, but he was confident that the new year would bring brighter days as economic indicators point to a positive and encouraging outlook for the country. From high inflation rates, cutthroat cost of borrowing, naira debauchery, tax reform and regulatory clampdown to cash squeeze, electronic payment flip flop, energy subsidy controversies, and minimum wage negotiation last year was indeed an exceptional year for Nigeria. I tell you, this just sum it all. Abi summarizes all of the challenges we face, from inflation, cutthroat cost of borrowing, we've been servicing our debts and naira debauchery, tax reform that we're still on it. I can't believe, implementing the tax reform still will have to jump into 2025. And the regulatory clampdown to cash squeeze, electronic payment flip flop, energy subsidy controversy, since last year. 2023, of course, when President Tinubu assumed office, bam, he said subsidy was gone. And until now, subsidy is still, it's no more. So these are all of the challenges that characterize the year 2024. But we look better to a new year, a new day, and a new dawn, as the president, gave, mentioned in his message. And let's take Governor of Bauchi has been trending recently based on, his outpour. He sincerely poured out his mind on these same tax reforms that they have dragged and still dragging into 2025. Bauchi governor denies threatening President Tinubu, insists on stance against tax reforms. Governor Bala Muhammad of Bauchi State has denied threatening the president, saying that his statement was taken as a threat, but has respect for the presidency. However, Muhammad insisted that the tax reform bills before the National Assembly are skewed to favor only one session of the country over others, and he would not be intimidated to backtrack. Mohammed had on December 26 rejected the controversial tax reform bills, warning the president against proceeding with the reform, which, while alerting that the bill was against the North and many other states with weak economy. So this morning, I really want to sound as positive as I can because it's the first day of the year. Yeah, so we want to start on a good note. While we know that we have diversity in our country is heterogeneous in nature, means we have different tribes, languages, tongues, and then when you see a person from this region, it's the president, we get to hear a lot of things. Even at state level, they say, oh, it's because it's from this state. That's why it's doing all the things it's doing, to make where he is from look good. But I will say this, at state level, at the end of the day, when the person leaves power, I've had a number of times where presidency or governors, at the state level leave power. People say, see, with him being in power, see how his hometown look like. See how this place look like. And he's from this place. He hails from that place. He hails from that place. Now, this is not the deal. And another thing is, people from other side, maybe in the state, will say, well, he's doing this because it's his state. That's why he's favoring his states more. Now, the truth is, of course, somebody who is about to serve should know you're not only serving the people from maybe your immediate community. It should be about all. And somehow, people just make the work difficult for you because when you're even paying attention to this side, they say, oh, see what he's doing. He's doing it in his hometown. If you do it here again, they say, he's not even taking care of his hometown. He's taking care of other communities. Now, you see all of these disparities and all of that. But moving forward, I just feel in the tax reform bills, to be clear, honestly, these tax reform bills will surely benefit the larger population either in the north, south, or west. And we've seen oppositions to this bill, especially from the northern side, and there are concerns. But if we are truly open to change and to see development in our country, we should look beyond maybe they are playing to this region or playing to that region and see, does this policy, implementation of this bill, if it benefits all, like the the common man, the masses that you're there to serve. If that's one of the factors in this bill, should it move on? And that's why we should consider at the end of the day. And this is where I stand on this issue of tax reform bills. Well, thank you, Governor of Bauchi State says he will never in any way disregard the presidency. He is just speaking his mind. Now let's hear from Umahi this morning. Tinubu is fighting corruption without making noise. That's the Minister of Works. Former Governor of Ebonyi State and Minister of Works, David Umahi, in an interview said on the changes in road infrastructure in Nigeria, why Nigerians should not link all government action and projects to corruption. He said it is much bigger, but the principle is the same because he was not sitting down in office as a governor. He spent over 70% of his time on the field and mentioned that most of the projects in Ebonyi State were designed by him, by the inspiration of God, because he believes strongly that when you have your mind working for the people, God will enable you to do the things you were not trained to do. Thank you, Minister of Works. Yeah, everything should be about the people, and I hope we stand with that. Now, Adelabu, Minister of Power, please give us power. You know we need plenty of lights in our lives this year. And on The Guardian this morning, the Minister of Power, Adelabu, blames vandalism for failure to increase power generation to 6,000 megawatts. Why he said that he attributed the failure of increased power generation to 6,000 megawatts as promised to rampant vandalism of infrastructure. The 26 electricity plants on the national grid, electricity generation peaked at 4,450 megawatts yesterday, while the Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission, NERC, had earlier last year, earlier in 2024, increased the tariff to above 200 naira per kilowatt hour for some end users. Adelabu had told Nigerians that power supply would improve as the tariff increased, and this will be based on improved service delivery. Now, I'll say this, if you say this does not affect you, we all will not be telling the truth. It's far from the truth. As we consign most of the businesses, we run in our country today, even all over the world, we need power, especially. And I tell you, people, this has crumbled a lot of business. The epileptic, that's usually the word, epileptic power supply that we have all across the country. Hospitals, we need power supply in the hospitals. Even government-owned hospitals are crying that no power supply. How can we do this? You're operating on a patient when you should have like 50 bulbs, pointing to what you're doing. You're working on humans, not stones. And people will use torchlights. What can torchlights do? And I've seen, a lot of times where people go to, government hospitals, primary health care, teaching hospital, general hospitals, they say we got there, they say there's no fuel, no power supply. We should buy fuel. I'll be like, wait, I'll buy fuel. I'll still pay for the my medical. If you attend to me medically, I'll still pay for that service. It's all right. And these are not, story just to bore you. These are true things that happen. They say, no fuel, doctor is not around, the doctor has gone home. Why? No lights now. So how will doctor work? In a hospital. And I hope that we improve on power supply. This year is one of our dreams. It should come true. We hear neighboring countries, we supply power. And they're doing better than us. So what are we not getting right here? I don't understand. Moving forward from that story. Now on Guardian, security for hire, emerging trend in police protection of VIPs, with concerns over the safety of lives and properties unabating nationwide. The escort business is fast assuming a new dimension, with men of the Nigerian police force becoming active players, as evidenced during the peak of the festive seasons. Those officers routinely escort trucks and lorries laden with goods and accompanying high-profile individuals, very important persons, and everyone who can afford a fee. Well, somehow, do you blame the police? Because they say, ah, amid security concerns, if you have the money, you say, okay, you want police escorts and you pay and all of that. And this is becoming, Nigerian police are fast shifting attention from general to selective protection of high profile, according to the report on The Guardian. And this is calling for concern. And it is what it is, anyways. Moving on from that story this morning. Most beneficiaries of FG's humanitarian programs not on social media. And the Minister of Humanitarian Affairs, Disaster Management and Social Development, Nantewa Wada, has dismissed the corruption claims levied against his ministry, especially as it relates to administration of government intervention and initiative. There have been concerns about the identities of beneficiaries of these programs, considering the amount of money devoted to intervention and initiatives. Iwada, who was featured during Channels Television's end of year 2024 special review, said the people who are at this lower end are not on social media, they're not on the internet, they're not on TV, and they are even unbanked. They don't have bank accounts, they're not on internet. I think, of course, we should cater more for these people who they are almost be out of reach. So that should be, you know, what should top the concerns of the humanitarian ministry. And it's important we do that, because if we are, providing aid, I'm not saying people who are not, well, internet don't have needs. Okay? Are you on internet lately? Have you been to the internet lately? You see people with data still telling you urgent 2K and you wonder. So how did you get the data to do this? Well, maybe they got the data because they needed help anyways. And sometimes celebrities cry out and say, it's just this 2K, this urgent 2K. Why? It's still a newspaper review on Vicinity 95.3 FM. We'll be right back. And before we go, you can join the conversation this morning by calling us on 081-3237-1268. 081-3237-1268. You can react on some of the stories out there this morning, and let's hear your views on them. Yeah, you heard. It's Vicinity 95.3 FM. And I'll take this story on the punch. I hope Fubara have a good year 2025, because it's been a year of turmoil for Fubara 2024. Moving forward in 2025, I hope something peaceful comes his way. Enemy's plan will continue to crash, says Fubara. The River State Governor Siminalayi Fubara has expressed faith in the omnipotence of God to crush self-styled enemies of the state and its people. Fubara stated this at the crossover church service held at St. Paul's Anglican Church, Opobo Town in the Opobo, Nkoro local government area. In the States in the early hours of Wednesday, he raised a song with the worshippers picking up the light. This is what we do in Nigeria, and this is not just about Fubara. It's about all of us. We go for crossover service, and we promise God that we'll do this, we'll do that. I'll be a great citizen, a great leader. Just give me this, answer my prayer. God is miracle working God. He give you a miracle. But, your intent, are they clean? Are they clear? Are they true? Or you're just using that to find a way to get something. And at the end of the day, we're back to square one. So this is not just a message to Fubara, it's all a message to all of us. As you have seek and pray for God to, hear your prayers this year. I hope we also do service to the works that the people have committed to our hands. Message of hope is good. I tell you, if you go all over the internet, you see all our leaders giving us all the messages of hope. We love it. Of course, we love to see it. At least it improves our optimism. Of course, when we see good things, our mind gravitates towards it. But at the end of the day, messages of hopes are beautiful, but the acts of hope are most more important, because words are not enough. We will not, Nigerians will not, put that message in a plate or in a pot and cook it, even for New Year rice. All we need is for the government to provide an enabling environment for all of us to thrive. And this year, I hope this message of hope, we work it out in our actions, from the number one man in the country, President Bola Tinubu, to the vice, to the National Assembly, our lawmakers, and our executive, our legislature, a justice system. We want it to be true. We want them to be fair, and all of that. And to, the sectors of every nook and crannies, want to see a better year, want to see us fly this year, want to see Nigeria fly, and I hope we do. But this is in your hands, it's in my hands, for us to give the best to a nation. It's what we put out there, we bring back. That's what people don't understand. When you give love, you get love. When you give hatred, you get hatred. God might even show you mercy, say that when you're giving hatred, maybe some people will show you love. But whatever you want to see in the world, give it first before you can earn it. So it's important. Let's not just say, oh, we want this to happen, but we're not working towards it. About it happening. I'm Oluwafunke Israel, and it's time for me to go on the show this morning, newspaper review. I'll bring you all of the trending stories on our dailies. The president has given a word of hope, a message of hope, and all the leaders in the country. Well, we also are hopeful for the year 2025. We hope it's beautiful. We hope it's kind to us. We know we have a lot of work to do. Whatever result you want to see, it's the work of your hands that will show if truly you are ready to take on the world. This has been made possible by the executive producer, Yadishola Salami. I hope you have a beautiful 2025. This I pray for you and all of the people you love. This year will not bring sadness or things of pain and hardship for us. So I beg, we should not always see Nigeria, as a country that's tied back, and we will rise, and we will rise. Truly, we will. And everything is possible, only if you believe. I'm Oluwafunke is just saying, have a beautiful 2025. It's a new year. Happy New Year once again. Please stay tuned on Vicinity 95.3 FM. Uralawa, coming right through. And join me 9:15 on the morning show. Don't worry, we're going to have a lot of fun. It's the new year.